Before first pitch, down to the field, brought to you by El Pollo Loco. Here's Alana.
All right, guys, thanks very much. It's game 124 tonight. It's about the time in the season where a lot more people are starting to pay attention to what's going on as far as the NL West standings are concerned. Right now, entering play, the Dodgers 2 games back in the National League West. Are actually closer in the wild card, a game and a half back of that second wild card spot. The Dodgers have 13 more games against the 2 teams ahead of them in the division. The Dodgers have 7 more games against the other 3 teams, excluding the Rockies ahead of them in the wild card. Just 7 versus St. Louis and no more against Milwaukee or Philadelphia, but they will see Arizona and Colorado 13 more times.
And how about this, Alana? Colorado was down to their final out in Atlanta, down 3-0. Ian Desmond doubled home 2, and then Gerardo Parra with a pinch hit game-tying RBI single. And so it's 3-3 in the 9th inning. Arizona's just taken a lead on San Diego in the 5th inning at Petco. We'll keep you posted on those ones as they roll on. But here in Seattle, off we go at Jock Peterson, taking ball 1 from Erasmo Ramirez, who is making only his 2nd start over the last few months. 2 starts in April, then missed 3 months with a shoulder injury. Came back last weekend against Houston and fired 5 shutout innings. That's a strike, 1-1.
Got a no decision in that last outing against Houston, but looked really effective in those 5 innings. As you mentioned, just his 2nd starts. It's coming off his 2nd stint on the DL.
First one came to open the year with the lat injury. Shut him down for much of spring training. And it's another guy without overpowering stuff like the Dodgers saw last night in Wade LeBlanc.
Yeah, just very similar to Wade LeBlanc, only from the right side, where he relies on the sinking action of his fastball. He has a cutter, slider, changeup that he goes to. Really key for him is the command, and for Dodger hitters, the key is to try to get him up in the zone so that sinker can flatten out.
Peterson takes ball 2. Dodgers last night with 11 runs. Previous 4 games, they had 10 runs in those 4 games combined. And as we talked about off at the top, they did it with the long ball, crushing 5 homers. On a 2-2 pitch, Peterson watches a change fade away and has worked it full. Back-to-back wins for these Dodgers after the 5-game losing streak. And believe it or not, trying to win their first series in August. If they can get a win tonight or tomorrow. A payoff. And a walk to open the night for Jock Peterson.
It's a good walk, a good take by Jock Peterson. Not easy to lay off a pitch like that, especially starting the game. He was just barely off of the plate. Does his job as a leadoff hitter, getting on base, finding a way. Letting the middle guys see if they can come through like they did yesterday.
That was some performance really through the heart of that Dodger lineup. Here's Turner, who had 2 hits. Extend that hitting streak to a National League best 11. On the first one from Ramirez, he takes ball 1. Dodgers have the top 2 hitters in the National League as far as batting average goes here in August. Turner at .408, trailing only Cody Bellinger. He's hitting .417 this month. Cute foul, 1-1.
I hope they keep competing for the month of August down the stretch. Keep swinging the bat well. Hot bat. We talked about the heart of this lineup yesterday. When you look at the 2 through 5 hitters in yesterday's game, they combined for 8 hits. Each of them had 2 hits. All 4 guys came to score twice.
It's a little more like it. Took the pressure off of the bullpen too. 1 ball, 1 strike, and Turner swings and misses, 1-2. It was the 8th game without Kenley Jansen, and it was the first out of those 8 where the pressure didn't fall on the bullpen tight late. Here comes the 1-2. Turner rolls it to third. Knocked down by Seager. across the diamond for 1 out.
Well, this bobble helped the Dodgers get a runner in scoring position. It looked like Seager just tried to rush it before he had the ball in his glove. Just trying to be a little bit too quick. Lucky for him, he was able to gather himself and still get the out at first base.
Brings up Manny Machado. We take a look at our Landover Performance Spotlight. The last 3 games, Machado has come to life. 6 hits, including the 2 home runs last night. And facing a guy tonight in Erasmo Ramirez that he's homered against twice before. With Peterson at second and 1 out. Ramirez delivers and Machado takes ball 1. Said he went back to the fundamentals, started from the ground after that rough series in Colorado. First took a look on video at where his feet were, how his balance was in his stance, and stripped it all the way down to the basics, trying to get back to where he knows he should be. Takes a strike, 1-1.
You look over his last 3 games, you can see just that confidence that he has in the batter's box. And he also talks about not only did he strip it down, he recognized that he started chasing a lot, going after bad pitches, chasing out of the zone.
I mean, one of the standout things about him this year while he was in Baltimore was his avoidance of strikeouts. One of the lowest strikeout rates in the American League, but he had one of the highest in the National League over his first few weeks in Dodger blue. For the man at second and 1 out, here comes a 1-2. In on his hands. That's going to reach the seats, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, there are times when he was struggling, when we saw on all those strikeouts. You know, we said, well, it looks like he's pressing a little bit. It looks like trying to do too much. And, you know, there's a lot of, when you do that, you do start chasing. Also, when your mechanics don't feel right as well, there's a lot of things that come into play. And like I said, when you strip it down to the basics, it allows you to get confidence back in that batter's box.
Rolls this one to short for D. Gordon. And Machado is out number 2. Second start of the season for D at short, with Gene Segura missing back-to-back nights following the birth of his child. Now with 2 gone here in the first inning, here's Cody Bellinger. .417 in August with an on-base percentage right at 500. Both those categories leading the NL. Strike 1. One and one. Erasmo Ramirez, 28 years old. Originally from Nicaragua. 7th season he's spent time in the majors. Actually started in Seattle, had a few years here, then was traded to Tampa Bay, and they acquired him back in a trade midway through last season. Changeup has Bellinger swinging and missing 1 and 2. He came over at the deadline and was one of their best starters down the stretch, so they had him penciled into the rotation, but his injuries have pretty much kept him on the shelf all year. Hoping that he can be part of their playoff push as they start the day 4 games back of now the Oakland A's in the American League West. Won again today, now tied with Houston. It's taken outside, 2 and 2.
It's interesting about Ramirez, you look at this year, his splits really, he has some big splits. Left-handers hitting over 370 against him compared to right-handers just 130 against him. Now, we talked about being on the DL an awful lot this year.
Bellinger had one to hit and fouled it.
So it's going okay. You look at recently how he's been pitching and how those splits are. We know how the Dodgers and Dave Roberts likes to do some matchups here, righty versus lefty. Then you look at his career. And if you want to look at those numbers, then if you look at the matchup or what he does over his career, righties versus lefties, it's even 252 for both.
Right. Another 2-2 and another foul. That's something Dave Roberts constantly has to wrestle with, how to weigh recent performance with career numbers. A lot of times that's coming down to, and when he's looking at decisions as far as pitchers against hitters or vice versa, specific matchups. Maybe a guy's 1 for 10 against Bartolo Colon, but did that come when Bartolo was throwing 97? Or is that the current Bartolo, for example?
And then you also wrestle how the individual has been swinging the bat as well. It's like, does it really matter? Do you like where they are? Keep them in.
Peterson takes his lead. Ramirez throws, and Bellinger hits a ground ball base hit to center. Peterson headed home with no throw, and the Dodgers get one in the first on a 2-out single from Bellinger.
Just a great at bat by Cody Bellinger. I mean, this ball was going down away from him. He actually had the same type of hit yesterday. We were commenting on how him staying on the ball, not pulling off of it. Talking about how great his August has been, where the bat seems to be staying flatter through the zone. Him staying on pitches. Perfect example. He did it yesterday, carried that into the day, and a big clutch hit by Cody Bellinger.
And a big cheer from this Dodger blue crowd. Antone 294 here. And record numbers. 2 gone for Brian Dozier, who takes a strike. Alana's going to fill us in on some of the details of their outing here in Seattle. It's been astounding, though, to look around town and then driving up to the ballpark and seeing the lines of people waiting to get in.
It was all blue.
Uh-huh. Almost like a postseason atmosphere during batting practice. Ramirez to Dozier with an 0-1. That misses away. It's 1-1.
You're right. I mean, as a player, you know, you go in, you're in an away ballpark. But then during batting practice, when they're cheering for you during batting practice, you're like, well, where are we? This is great. This is unbelievable support. You definitely feel it and you feed off of it.
2-1. Last night was the 3rd largest crowd in Safeco Field history. Dodgers' first trip here since 2012, when they famously were no-hit, combined no-hitter, 6 different pitchers. A little bit different last night.
They were making up for lost time here at Safeco.
You know, the leadoff hitter for the Dodgers that night was one D. Gordon, who in the 9th inning, had replay been involved, it didn't come around for another couple of years. He led off with a ground out to short. He was safe at first, but called out on the field, and no replay to protect him. Second walk of the inning. First and second with 2 gone. Yasmani Grandal will come up, and we go down to Alana.
Guys, there are thousands of Dodgers fans here at Safeco Field. 1,300 of them are with the great fan base group of Pantone 294. They have 1,300 fans. They're taking the better part of 6 different sections here on the main level first tier here at Safeco Field. They were all over the place touring Seattle today. In fact, some of them went to the Space Needle and they ran into Matt Kemp. So they actually interviewed Matt Kemp at the Space Needle. We saw some of them at Pike Place Market as well. They got to see some of the Dodger fans throwing fish around. More on that on Backstage Dodgers coming up. But this is a great, great fan base, and we're happy to have them here.
And it's not unique to Seattle, right? Dodger fans tend to travel very well wherever it is. Just a little bit extra special in these interleague series when you're only coming once every few years.
Yeah, we were mentioning about how great the support was yesterday, and Pantone 294, some of them were here, but they're all in full effect, and they're down the right field line. But you look down the left field line or down third base line, all behind the Dodger dugout. It seems like it's a sea of blue, and there's a lot of fans here, Dodger fans. You and I were talking about it as we were pulling in. You said not only those getting into the gate, but there were areas in different restaurants and bars. It seemed like they had tents set outside, and it was just nothing but Dodger fans set up there, you know, preparing to come in and cheer their team on.
Preparing.
What else would you? I mean, you don't think they're getting prepared?
No, it's just a funny way to put it. It's exactly what they were doing. Pre-game.
Exactly.
Nothing in 2 on Grandal. With Bellinger at second and Dozier at first. Back comes Erasmo Ramirez. Just off of the corner again, and Ramirez a couple of times has thought that he's had strike 3 there. Only to get a ball from Marvin Hudson.
We look at him pitch gas, and pitch gas has it just off the plate. We were talking about how Jock Peterson started this game off working a walk on a pitch that close.
This one gets him. Fastball cutting to the corner. But the Dodgers get one against Ramirez. We're off and rolling in Seattle. Rich Hill tries to keep his great second half rolling. You come back. And then it's that guy, Cameron Maben, came over at the deadline. Has been a good pickup for Seattle. Cano and Cruz. Kyle Seager's at third base. Ryan Healy's home run accounted for their scoring last night. Zunino, Gordon, and Heredia round out this lineup. Against Rich Hill, who has pitched in 6 games in this ballpark in his career, and he's given up 1 run in 23 innings.
Yeah, it seems there's certain ballparks, you talk about hitters, you talk about pitchers, where they just seem to feel really comfortable out there, whether it's in the batter's box, on the mound. Seems to be it for Rich Hill. Hopefully he's feeling that today, but you know, that's his career at Safeco. But we talk about how well he's been pitching as of late, especially for these Dodgers. You look at his last 5 starts since the All-Star break. Hitters just hitting 194 against him. He's got an ERA at about 1.7.
Falls behind Mitch Haniger 2-0. He said there's something about the mound here at Safeco, and there are a few different mounds across baseball where he's particularly comfortable. Loves pitching at Dodger Stadium. That's a good thing, and to make half his starts there. Loves pitching at Miller Park, Houston, and here at Safeco. Now, all the mounds are supposed to be uniform, but they're not. It's 3-1. And he said he's not sure what the variance is, and it may just be a centimeter or two, but he feels like he's way in the air here in Seattle and coming downhill at the hitter, even though it may just be a centimeter different than a normal mound. 3-2.
Oh no, they're different. They're definitely different. Even as a hitter, when you look out there, some mounds even look different, or a pitcher looks different out there on the mound where they may look taller or bigger on there compared to other ones. The batter's box are supposed to be uniform, and they're not as well. At least what's underneath you and you're feeling like there's certain batter's box that the clay is better than others.
Payoff. Just misses low. Been a tight zone so far for Marvin Hudson. And the Mariners start the day the same way the Dodgers did, with a walk. He said the lowest feeling mound that he's been on is Fenway. Do you remember as a hitter feeling like the pitchers were any lower there?
You know, I never really noticed that, or I thought that was one where I was like, wow, they're lower here. So you know, the pitchers would obviously know better than me as a hitter. You know, I'm looking at where the ball is being released and stuff, but I don't argue with pitchers who do it for a living, who are on there all the time. They know.
Ball one on Maben. It's similar to pitchers talking about being able to feel the differences in seam height, even if it's minute in the difference. Right. These are the tools of their trade. You know, when something's a little bit different, they know. 1-1.
Yeah, as an infielder, you know, we'll be throwing the baseballs around. When I hear these pitchers talking about the baseball, talking about how it's different or how it might feel, and as an infielder, yeah, we can feel certain things in the baseball, and if you let us, if you're making us aware, if we're focused on that, but we're not focused on it. A pitcher, they're focused and they're aware. It's in their hand all the time.
First curve lands for a strike, 1-2. At a rehab start, Rich Hill, you know, the big league pitchers get to use the big league balls in the minor league rehabs, and somehow a minor league ball got put into the rotation and the umpire threw it to Rich, and as soon as he grabbed it, he didn't even have to look at it. As soon as he put his hands on it, he knew that it wasn't right, and without even glancing at the ball, threw it back to the umpire and said, give me a big league ball. 1-2.
Well, wasn't it Caleb Ferguson who was talking about how when he got called up, he thought there might be something to it because they ended up giving him some big league balls to kind of start playing catch with it and throwing it around and get used to it.
Soft bouncer. Hill able to cut it off and get Maben. The scoring position goes Haniger. To the plate comes Robinson Cano. Fourth game back for Cano from the 80-game suspension. 1-0 for 3 last night and 3 for 12 in the 3 games total. Hill to Cano with ball 1. It's an interesting thing we touched on last night. The situation the Mariners have with Cano returning. Not going to have him if they reach the postseason because of the suspension. That makes you ineligible. But they need him over the final month and a half to help make the postseason. That's a strike, 1-1. So they're finding ways to get him into the lineup. He'll play not just second, but the corner infield spots for the first time in his major league career. Hill drops down and he shoots one off of the glove of Turner. Ricochets to Machado, whose throw gets by Muncie. Off of the facing of the dugout. Haniger to third at the corners with one gone.
See how they end up ruling this. Well, he definitely You know, he ended up going to third on this because of the throw past him. So there'd be an error on that one. But they give Cano as this ball goes off Justin Turner. Machado tried to make a play, and so did Muncie over there trying to outstretch. That's one of those where Muncie also has to realize where the ball's going. If he had any chance, maybe it's just coming off the bag, not even worrying about trying to make that play and at least keeping the guy on second base.
Your gut was right as far as the ruling. It's a single for Cano, and then Haniger advances to third on an E6. So first and third, one out. Nelson Cruz looks at strike one. At 38 years old, he just keeps on doing it. Top 6 in the American League in homers and in RBIs. Right field base hit. This game tied at 1. Puig twirls and throws to the cutoff man. Nelson Cruz with an RBI single here in the first.
Well, he gets a breaking ball that hangs up in the zone. You know, one thing about Rich Hill, we have seen him purposely throw a breaking ball, but he tries to get that up at the top of that. That one was a lot lower than he wanted it. That one was more of a hanger than it was trying to get that top of the zone. Missed it, and good hitter like Cruz is not going to miss.
So already even again. Kyle Seager takes ball 1. Corey's older brother was 0 for 4 last night, and now 4 for his last 28. As what has been the most difficult season of his career continues. High drive right center field. The Mariners have taken the lead on an absolute shot from Kyle Seager.
Well, this ball is right in the middle, the heart of a plate. The fastball misses a spot they wanted to go away. And if you go back to 2012, Kyle Seager leads all left-handed batters with 58 home runs versus left-handed pitchers, and he makes it, that is number 59. And I believe that was his 1100th hit as well.
Yeah. Does it in style. Gives the Mariners a 4-1 lead. Ryan Healy, who accounted for the scoring last night with a home run, takes a curve. Just misses. 1-1. Well, when Rich Hill has struggled, it's been because of the home run largely. Biggest difference for him as he's turned his season around the last couple of months has been the drop in home run rate. So over the last few months since coming off of the disabled list, he's given up less than a home run per 9 innings. Before that, it was more than 2 home runs every 9 innings. He gets Healy swinging, 2 gone.
Sped up his delivery on that fastball, trying to change his timing. He gets a swing and a miss. We're talking about feeling comfortable on the mound. I don't know if he looks too comfortable out there. We saw that early on with that leadoff walk. Although, you know, he gets behind 3-0 and then just didn't get that last pitch on that 3-2. But for Rich Hill, we know, just very similar to Ramirez on the other side. It's not necessarily overpowering. I'm not seeing 98 like we see in some other guys in the big leagues now, like such a Bueller. So they really need to have their command. And Rich Hill has missed a few spots, and they've been able to capitalize on this first inning.
Gets ahead of Zunino 0-2. That probably feels like that mound is shrinking as he's standing on it as his first inning goes on. Zunino quickly retired. He's struck out at all 4 of his at-bats this weekend. But the Mariners with a 4th spot. The big blow, a Kyle Seager home run. Started hitting the ball hard. Then he started getting some better luck, some crack bat flares that fell in. And then last night hit his first home run in 25 days. Looks like starting to come out of that maddening slump as he leads off this 2nd inning against Erasmo Ramirez and fouls it off.
And when you start coming out of a slump, you're getting some base hits. Yes. Talk about some maybe off the end of the bat, some have fallen for him, some maybe broken bat, and you need those two just to feel like you got that monkey off your back. But then when you start squaring them up, you want to see where they're going.
That's squared up and off of the glove of Seager into left. Leadoff single for Matt Kemp. And we go down to Alana.
Guys, last night Matt Kemp hit his 200th home run in a Dodgers uniform. He found out a couple of hours after the game. He said his dad told him about it. He was thinking about the fact that, you know what, I already have close to 300 home runs. Matt Kemp certainly still in a little bit of his prime. It's 277. He seems like he's in his prime after reinventing himself, coming back to the Dodgers. But he's thinking about all the guys that have, 300 more home runs than he has, and talking about some of the Hall of Famers. He said, you know what, I'm pretty blessed to play this game. I'm living a dream right now.
Starting the 2nd with a base hit. Thanks, Alana. There's Max Muncie who takes a strike.
And speaking of that home run that Alana touched on yesterday at 200, and I was talking about where you hit him. The fact that he drove it to center field. That's also, and he knows that's his strength. And he knows when he's thinking about it. Doesn't mean that he's going to hit them all. He pulled that one, which is great. But when he's thinking right center field, and then squaring it up and driving it there, that's when you know you're feeling pretty good at the plate.
And especially here, right? I mean, the guys were talking yesterday during batting practice that you don't want to hit the ball to center field if you're trying to get it out of here. Brian Dozier found that out in the first at-bat of the series yesterday. It's a cue shot to third. Seager across his body. They get one, and that's all. And Dozier crushes a ball that dies on the warning track in center. Kemp was able to hit one out. 1 on 1 out. And the crowd tells you who's coming up. Yasiel Puig. As Alana reported yesterday, Puig has elected to appeal his 2-game suspension. Him sitting out yesterday, unrelated to that. Of course, it begs the question, if you're going to sit him out, why not begin to serve the suspension?
Right. I was thinking about that yesterday. was when we got the announcement he was going to appeal, but then he wasn't in the lineup. And then the other factor is that you can think about is they are playing in an American League ballpark. So you do have the DH here, and you don't go to your bench quite as much because of that. So yeah, you're already, you know, the Dodgers just have 4 on the bench, and oh well, today only 3 because one is as a DH and Matt Kemp. But you don't really have to stress about that hitting for the pitcher. So okay, you can kind of play with a shortened bench.
He's ahead here 3-0 and takes a strike. Of course, it's easy for us to sit up here and say that it's not our paychecks that we're getting 2 days of pay taken out of. As a matter of principle.
Roberts just like to have certain guys up there in pinch hit situations.
Full count on Puig.
So yeah, it was that, or you know, if he serves it, it goes okay. Now I only have 2 on the bench that I can make those decisions on. And nobody told Dave Roberts they were going to score 11 runs yesterday. So
he didn't have that memo. Muncie at first, 1 gone, and a 3-2 that Puig chops through the left side, base hit. Second hit of the inning, first and second for the top of the order.
Well, that's one thing. Yasiel has been swinging the bat well, getting some hits, showing off the power, and that was the other. I bet you that was also a factor with regards to the appeal as well. Dave Roberts touched on it. Like, listen, coming down the stretch, you don't want to see Yasiel missing any games, and he even talked about that, where he had to sit down and talk to Yasiel after the scuffle with the Giants. He said, listen, I understand how you react, but at the same time, got to see how valuable and what you mean to the team, especially how important these games are down the stretch to get to the postseason.
Jock Peterson watches one fade in there for a strike. Walked to start the game and came in to score the first run. A 2-out hit from Cody Bellinger. Off of the hands to first. Healy goes to second to get Puig. 2 out. By the way, they've gone final in Atlanta. The Rockies, who were trailing 3-0 with 2 gone in the 9th inning, win it in 10, 5-3. They rally for 3 runs in the 9th and then get a 2-run home run from Charlie Blackmon in the 10th. The Rockies have now won 7 of 8, all against first place teams, or top notch teams at least. Two on, 2 out. Here's Justin Turner.
We've been talking about this division, that it's gonna, we all say and feel like it's gonna go down to the wire at the end of the season. And the one thing for the Dodgers is, you were talking about how many games they have left versus the Rockies and Arizona. It's in their hands, and that's where you want it to be. You won't have to rely on other teams having to beat them so you can move up in the standings.
2-0 on Turner. And I was wrong. It was not a Blackmon home run. LeMahieu homered. And then Arenado followed that with an RBI hit. Turner looks at a strike, 2-1. Either way, Rockies 5, Braves 3. Final score in Atlanta. And Arizona has given up the lead against San Diego. 6-5 Padres, 6th inning. On a 2-1. Turner gets hit. He's able to get all of the fragile parts around that wrist out of the way. Take a jog down to first. Bases loaded.
hit, that's one of the spots you're like, okay, you like to get hit right there in the shoulder. Hopefully, looks like he's okay. Took it. The other spot would be on that pad that he wears on his elbow. That would be the ideal spot.
Yeah.
But I like that Manny Machado's last at bat. There was a foul ball that he missed that was on the inner half that he got upset. If he gets that ball again, I'm looking for him to get that barrel out in front of that one.
Takes low, 1-0. Bases loaded, second inning for one of the hottest hitters around. Eight career grand slams, including one this season. And here on a 1-0, Machado swings. It's a bullet to left center field. Diving play by Cameron Maben. And the Dodgers leave the bases loaded here in the second thanks to Maben's defense. Seattle 4, the Dodgers 1. Rich Hill tries to settle into this outing after giving up 4 in the first and misses with his first pitch of the second to D. Gordon. That's foul, and it's 1-1. Gordon 0 for 3 last night. And below 150 in July. On a 1-1 pitch, Gordon gets curve and rakes it by the back foul, 1-2.
This is one of those innings for Rich Hill. If he can have a quick inning, that would be a huge boost to him and also the team, especially after they had a stressful inning on Ramirez, that last one, where they're just unlucky after that line drive by Machado. But after his last inning, try to get a quick one, get him back in there and keep swinging.
Now this Mariners team prior to tonight had scored 5 runs in its previous 3 games, and over the last 2 months less than 4 runs per game, one of the worst in the American League. Hill drops down and it sweeps in to get Gordon for strike 3. We're talking about the Machado lineout. Not a whole lot else you can do as you look back at Maben's play on our Carl's cam.
You do everything right as a hitter. Bases are loaded. You want to drive the guys in. You drive one to the gap. You square it up well, and still there's a guy who can go out there, lay out, and make a great catch against you. As we have a look at a Carl's cam replay, and you tell yourself as a hitter, just stay right there, tip your hat, nothing you can do about it.
Ball on Guillermo Heredia. Easier said than done, though, right?
Oh, yeah. Still want to go in there and make some loud noises with your bat and helmet and things like that.
And sometimes you do.
Yeah. Just frustration.
1-2. Got to be careful, though. Those things can attack back, right?
Yeah, I've had a few attack me back, yes. They retaliate. When they retaliate, it hurts.
Well, it hurts them when you slam them against the wall. It's inside the bag. Fair ball for Heredia. Peterson guns to second. They got him. Jock Peterson with a nice play. An outfield assist to get Heredia for the second out.
This was a great play by Jock Peterson, not only hustling to get to the ball, but notice how his body, as he's hustling, is still taking the momentum toward the line and then spinning around and still be accurate with that throw. That was a great play. Not easy to do because you have all your momentum going to get that ball, get down, still carrying you that way, and as you spin around to pick up your target and still be accurate. That was a perfect throw. Great job by Jock.
So 2 gone, second inning. Top of the order in Mitch Haniger, who gets first pitch breaking ball outside. Started the game with a walk, came in to score. And the Dodger defense is something that hasn't gotten a ton of publicity, but it's something that has improved both statistically and I think eye test as this year has gone on.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the outfielders have done a tremendous job. I mean, we've seen a lot of them out there as well. I mean, the corners going out there, especially that throw to second base such as that one. We've seen that. Seen Yasiel. Yeah, for Yasiel this year, I think last year he was better defensively than this year, but I think he's been improving over the last couple months. You know, he has been this year missing the cutoff man a lot more than we've seen in the last couple of years and stuff. Still going out there and getting it. And I think over the last month or so we've seen him do a little bit better at that, so that's good. But then obviously Machado at short, Dozier's been outstanding out there. And people are probably going, okay, Logan Forsythe wasn't swinging the bat well, but you knew that was a solid glove, and you ended up trading, but you didn't lose anything with Dozier out there.
No.
The way he's been playing defense.
You added 2 Gold Glovers between Dozier and Machado.
And obviously you get Justin Turner back coming off the DL. That also helps with the improvement.
A 2-2 to Mitch Haniger. Do it again. Three-run home run from Kyle Seager in the first inning against Rich Hill. The difference in this game. Hill fires another 2-2 and misses up with a fastball. Full count. On an all-star, Mitch Haniger in his first full season in the majors. A 3-2, and he's walked both times.
I know Rich Hill is frustrated with himself because we were just talking about it. He's looking for that quick inning, trying to get out, get the guys back in the dugout to keep swinging, and ends up walking them for a second time. As Cameron Maben comes up, you're a shortstop, you're Manny Machado, you're thinking, okay, hit it to me, because I'm going to have to get back at you.
Strike one. Strike two. Couple journeymen dueling here. Rich Hill, 14th pro season, 10th different organization. Cameron Maben, 12th year, 8th team. Came over at the deadline from Miami. On an 0-2 pitch. He takes ball one. It's a guy who once upon a time was considered one of the top 2 or 3 prospects in all of baseball. Remember, he debuted as the youngest player in the American League as just a 20-year-old more than a decade ago with the Tigers. He was in the Miguel Cabrera deal from the Tigers to the Marlins, from the Marlins to the Padres, time of the Braves, the Angels, Astros. Curveball bounced to Turner at third. And Rich Hill follows up the 4-run first with a scoreless second. To the third we go in Seattle.
Experience to catch every moments this season. Get Dodgers home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. You can download MLB at Bat today.
Cody Bellinger leads off this third inning for the Dodgers and takes strike one from Erasmo Ramirez. Bellinger drove in the Dodger run with a 2-out single in the first. Takes a wicked rip, comes up empty here, 0-2.
See that shift on him, and the last hit, he got it right between Gordon and Cano, staying on it. I'll tell you, that last swing, it took him a little time to get back in the box. He was kind of moving his upper body a little bit. Hopefully he was okay when he took that big swing.
Behind 0-2, here comes. Boy, that outside corner has been hard to come by. Ball one. Here's a swing you're talking about.
It's a big swing, and then you just see him just kind of move that arm, that right arm. Like, all right.
Don't see that full out 100% swing from him quite as frequently anymore. He'll still cut it loose now and then, though.
Oh, absolutely. Nobody's saying that he should never. I think a lot of times it's what we saw and what we've seen now, and we just noticed even that last at bat where that big RBI. You know, even with 2 strikes or certain situations, he stays on it. He's not pulling off of it looking for that big swing and coming up big.
2-2 pitch. Bellinger takes ball 3. And Cody has said that as the numbers have improved here in August, the thing behind that is his ability to, once he decides to swing, not be completely committed to that 100% swing. The ability to either stop or just kind of let the swing ride, like we saw in his base hit in the first.
That was kind of one of those swings right now that you just saw right there that ended up fouling a pretty good pitch right there, because that was a good sinking ball down in the zone to stay alive here. But see that, there it is. Wasn't one where he pulled off of it, where he stayed on it, get another pitch.
Let it ride. Stay alive. Another 3-2. (4-1) Mariners, third inning. Cody Bellinger leading it off and fouling it off. He's had a couple to hit.
He did a good job fouling off some tough ones, but he's going, that one, that's the one. I fouled it off, but I got a one I could really handle on the inner half and just missed it.
Against Erasmo Ramirez, who's replaced Felix Hernandez in the Mariners starting rotation. Brings another 3-2, and Bellinger jumps out of the way of ball 4. He's got a leadoff walk.
That was a good at bat by Cody Bellinger. They're breaking down that, where he's taking the big swings. He finds himself behind, takes some close pitches, fouls off some tough pitches, and gets a leadoff walk.
Third walk Ramirez has issued today. One of them came to Brian Dozier, who stands in here. Strike one. Ramirez, born in Nicaragua. When he was 12 years old, he moved to El Salvador. So he goes from a country that's only produced a handful of big leaguers to a country in El Salvador that has never produced a big leaguer, but went to an academy there where he got a great education and also was able to focus on baseball. And for whatever reason, there's this one academy in El Salvador that has a focus on baseball. So we have very specialized coaching there. Got that great education at the same time, and signed with the Mariners when he was 17 years old. Here comes his 1-1 pitch. Dozier takes it low. But he grew up idolizing a fellow Nicaraguan pitcher in Dennis Martinez, who was the first to come out of Nicaragua. He's one of 15 total. And actually, you're seeing more and more. There are 4 guys this year from his home country. J.C. Ramirez, the Angels. Let's pop back in out of play, and it's 2-2. Chesler Cuthbert, infielder in Kansas City, and then Jonathan Loaizaga, a rookie with the Yankees, who got off to a fantastic start. It's starting to snowball a little bit in Nicaragua as they're seeing more and more of their countrymen make it.
That's great for baseball. You talk about how it's becoming more and more global.
2-2. Full count.
I was watching the Little League World Series before we got here and watching Spain take on Canada. And that was just cool to see. And they were talking about just there in Spain. That was the first team from Spain that's all Spanish citizens to make it to the Little League World Series.
It's very cool. You love that event, huh? You worked it several years.
It's just such a great event. It really is.
Here comes a 3-2, and Dozier hits a ground ball to short. Slowly hit, so they've got to hurry, but get it in time. 6-4-3. So the double play wipes him clean and brings up Grandal with 2 out. Struck out 10 the first inning. That's the lone K for Ramirez so far. Who's never going to have many of them. Guy that relies on missing barrels, and for the most part has done that so far. Other than 2. One ball, 2 strikes. Got him looking again. Dodgers bring up the minimum in the 3rd and trail it 4-1.
The off-season adventures continue for Chase Utley and Justin Turner as they explore more of Dubai. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers presented by Cadillac right after the post-game show on Sportsnet LA.
That was
4-1 Seattle. Key shot in this one. A Kyle Seager 3-run home run in the first inning. Rich Hill put up a 0 in the second and now deals with the heart of the order here in the 3rd. Robinson Cano singled his first time and takes strike 1 here. Named after Jackie Robinson. Parents still hadn't settled on a name when he was 3 weeks old, but Dad won out. Dad wanted to name him after Jackie. That's ripped foul, and it's 0-2. Robinson passed it on to his son. So Robinson Cano Jr. Broke into the majors with the Yankees, couldn't wear 42. That's obviously retired across baseball for Jackie Robinson, but he flipped it around and wore 24 as a tribute. A ball and 2 strikes.
Oh, and he broke in with the Yankees. Somebody was already wearing it with.
That too. Mariano Rivera was grandfathered in. Ground ball. Dozier's waiting on it, and Cano's the first out of the 3rd. (4-1) Seattle. Here's Nelson Cruz, who started the scoring with an RBI single. 1 ball, no strikes. 14th major league season for Cruz. He's hit more home runs than anybody since he became an everyday player a decade ago. A little bit like Big Papi, didn't become an everyday player until he was into his late 20s. One and two.
And like Big Papi, has big power. On the other side.
Can thank the advent of the designated hitter position for his continued relevance. Both those guys, of course, can.
And remember him. Many of the days, all the line drives, he would just hit everywhere.
Turner spears a hot shot on 1 bounce and throws him out. Take a bow, Justin Turner. Heck of a play, 2 gone.
Well, weren't we just talking about the improvement of the Dodger defense? And one of them is once he came off the DL, he started playing regularly. It improved. It's because of glove work like that. I mean, just a tremendous play, staying on that ball, throwing the hands, coming up with it. Great play by Justin Turner. It's funny, we're talking about DHing and Cruz extending his career and talking about, well, how that's helped him. And they're talking about possibly in both leagues with the DH, extending certain guys' career because of it, like you may see Cruz in that way. But talk to Justin Turner. He says, I wouldn't have had an extended career if they would have had a DH, because his versatility and what he was used for allowed him, because there wasn't a DH in the National League, and how valuable he was coming over the Dodgers. So it's interesting. So it's a different perspective when it comes to that position.
Two 2-0 on Kyle Seager. He crushed that 3-run home run his first time. There's taken down and away, 3-0. We take a look at StatCast AI, powered by AWS. That is first inning home run.
I mean, he gets a ball up in the zone, he doesn't miss, and he just crushes that 394 feet to right field.
Perhaps scared Hill out of the zone, who issues his 3rd walk of the day, and this inning stays alive. 1,100 hits in a Mariners uniform. Top 6 in franchise history. Ichiro, by the way, is still around. Takes batting practice each day, even though his title at this point is special advisor in the front office. There's some thought that he may be trying to keep in playing shape because they open next year in Japan. And wouldn't that be a great way for him to go out if he decides that that's how it's going to end? Ryan Healy takes a ball. Seager headed for second. He's in there safely.
Seager gets a great jump, just first move, doesn't hesitate. High leg kick by Hill, gets it easy. Oh, say easy, but I'm wondering if they're going to have a look. Thought it was easier, but they might have a look because he might have got that back leg before he gets in there. Oh, never mind. Yep, they're going to have a look. I don't know what the confusion is. Marvin Hudson's telling him, but right there, yes. Woo, wow. I was wrong. I thought he had it easy the way he slid in, and it looked like, all right, yeah, it was easy call. Didn't realize how close that was there.
And his jump seemed fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Like no shot.
But I don't understand what the confusion is. If they request it, and they just go right.
Oh, got him.
Wait, look at there. Yeah. Tags on the leg, hands not there. Is that white out for you because you have your pen on your scorecard that you might have to wipe that out?
Yeah.
I get.
You use your eraser?
Yeah, I just had the eraser, buddy.
Same thing.
Yep.
That was quick. That's the inning. Let's go to the fourth in Seattle. Southern California BMW Centers. Hurry in today to the BMW Summer On Sales event for exceptional offers. Details at SoCalBMW.com. And by Jack in the Box. Try something different like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Only at Jack in the Box for a limited time. Back in lovely Seattle. You know, normally you say great city, just got to deal with the weather, right? But this weekend it's been great city, great weather. Dodgers winning the opener 11-1 last night, trailing 4-1 as this game goes to the fourth. And Matt Kemp leads it off against Erasmo Ramirez. Swings and misses, strike one.
It's been perfect weather. It has been just beautiful. Walking around this city, beautiful days, beautiful skies. Good day to play baseball.
Like Alana told us, Matt Kemp went up in the Space Needle, which was designed on a napkin, on a cocktail napkin.
That's how I do my designs.
You have any good ones on there?
No, after that I realized I'm not a very good artist. So after I tried it on the napkin, I said I'm better off just using it for its purpose. And
wiping your face with it?
Exactly right.
Wasn't Harry Potter written on napkins originally?
Why possibly?
Kemp digs it out. High fly ball left center field. Back goes Heredia to catch it on the warning track. One out. One away in the fourth inning, and up comes Max Muncie.
The Dodgers have had a couple balls that they've squared up. There's some good defense in the outfield that's helped Ramirez out. I'm just thinking about Harry Potter. That's a lot of napkins.
Sure is.
Yeah.
No regard for trees.
No. Maybe just the original idea on a napkin and then the writing.
Done in a coffee shop. 1-1. Muncie's home run yesterday was a special one for him. Hit it for his 5-year-old nephew, Johnny. It was Johnny's birthday. Johnny told Max the one thing that he wanted for his birthday was a home run. And that's all Max could think about at the plate yesterday. Actually, Johnny lives here in Seattle. Max's brother and Johnny's dad works for Boeing, so he got to go out to dinner for Johnny's birthday and was able to give him that home run yesterday. 3-1.
All right, just got chills. That's pretty awesome. That is really awesome. You kidding me? Hey, what do you want for your birthday? A home run. Got it.
No big deal. I've already done it 26 times this year.
Rounding the bases and thinking about that as you're rounding it, that you did it, is so cool.
Here he walks. Got a high breaking ball.
And here's that birthday present. He gets the breaking ball up in the zone. And this is when Max is early in the season was really swinging the bat well. He was punishing mistakes just like that one.
That pitch looked like Wade LeBlanc was maybe in on the birthday wishes, hanging a breaking ball there. Well, that's the 4th walk that Erasmo Ramirez has issued. The Dodgers also 3 hits against him. One of them came from Puig, who bats here with 1 out in the 4th. Another than 2. Puig pops it up. Gordon settles under it and makes the catch, falling to the ground. They're probably going to get it out either way, with Muncie caught between a rock and a hard place at first, but Gordon does the sure thing.
They would have got it out either way, but you rather have Muncie on the bases than Yasiel Puig. It's one of the things, even as an infielder, you think about, that goes through your mind. If there happens to be a pop-up, you think about who's at home plate and who's on the bases. Where is there one where maybe I do let the pop-up fall? Let's say it was the reverse, Yasiel being on first and Muncie. Something you might think about, because you want to put a slower runner on there compared to this faster runner.
One is named Max Muncie. The other is named Wild Horse. Yeah, I think you got the right guy running if you're the Mariners. Little jam shot into short left field, over the shoulders. Seager makes the play to get Jock Peterson and the Dodgers in the 4th. Some good defense from Seattle tonight, and they lead it 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the 4th.
Series with the San Diego Padres Friday, August 24th. Stay after the game and take your place on the field to enjoy Friday night fireworks set to songs selected by Dodger players, courtesy of Denny's. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Bottom of the fourth, Ryan Healy fouls off the first pitch from Rich Hill.
And like we said before, we don't know whose playlist they're going to go to with Dodger players, but it is a players.
You got 25 of them, and you got 25 different musical tastes. Maybe it's a really long fireworks show.
I wonder if they do it the way we usually do it in the clubhouse on how you get to pick the songs.
Fly to center. Bellinger at the track with room, which is
before the game. It's usually the starting pitcher is the one. The starting pitcher for that day gets to pick what he wants to listen to in the clubhouse. And then oftentimes after the game, there's usually a song that's kind of that victory song that you get used to hearing. And not necessarily is that a player who picks it. Sometimes the clubhouse guy picks it, whatever that. But it's usually one you look forward to listening to when you walk into the clubhouse because you know you won. No music when you lose.
Mike Zunino takes ball one. And I imagine that song changes year to year.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's not the same one. Yeah, it does change year to year.
Whatever's in.
Exactly.
1-1. You remember any of yours?
Oh my gosh. Trying not, you know, I don't recall all of them. I remember the biggest one. I remember actually in AAA. I remember that because it was when they said ride that train. Remember when they would all?
The train.
Yes. I mean it was because they would play it. They would even play it out. Not even wait till after we won. I mean, they were playing in the middle of the game and everywhere. So
Quad City DJs.
Yes, nonstop.
Mike Zunino down on strikes for the 5th time in as many at bats in this series. 2 away in the 4th. I got the K's out. Rich Hill has looks like 93 of them tonight. Truthfully, he has 4. Looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the game as D. Gordon comes up. Strike one. It's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1. Well, Rich Hill's done what you'd hope. Settled in, giving the Dodgers an opportunity in this game. They're just hoping to get the offense to come alive. Still down 4-1. Just 1 hit since that 3-run home run from Seager in the first. Balls behind Gordon, 3 balls, 1 strike.
Well, we were talking about even that last inning in the 3rd. About trying to get that real quick inning to get them back in there, swinging the bat, see if they could. And he ended up getting, even though he got the base on balls, he ended up getting that caught stealing in that inning.
Here comes the 3-2. Drops down. Gordon able to stay alive. Talk about a defensive swing.
And that's the same pitch he ended up getting D. Gordon in his last at bat, striking him out looking. A drop down breaking ball, that frisbee style breaking ball that just froze him. This one he recognized it and says, I got that got me last time. Stay alive.
Went to it again. Popped up to short right. Dozier is there. Inning over. Rich Hill's first 1-2-3 inning of the game. We are through 4.
There's right in your train.
brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Get huge savings on a reliable new Camry at Toyota's National Clearance Event.
It continues to be a perfect night in Seattle as Justin Turner makes his way to the plate to lead off the top of the 5th inning. Justin Turner's been on some kind of tear offensively, currently on an 11-game hitting streak so far. First day in Oakland when the team was there playing the A's, Justin Turner took early hitting and made an adjustment to his stance. He was working with Brant Brown, the assistant hitting coach, who was doing a drill, and he was set off to the side, and Turner immediately felt better as he opened up that stance to create a little bit more space and clear up the bat path. He said, I immediately felt better. That transition then went into the game. He was able to get 2 hits that night, guys, and it's continued ever since. He said prior to taking early hitting and working on that drill, he was fighting his body, and just that simple adjustment of a little bit more space has helped him out tremendously.
1 ball, 1 strike against Erasmo Ramirez, leading off this 5th. Trying to extend that hitting streak at 11 games right now, with Bellinger with a base hit his first time. Those 2 guys tied for the National League lead in active hitting streaks. There's that open stance. 2-1.
And they always say this, it's a game of adjustments. You're constantly making adjustments. You're constantly trying to figure things out when things aren't going your way.
Gets under it. Healy's going to have room. Turner's the first out. Dodgers have had a couple of walks but no hits since the 2nd against Ramirez. As Manny Machado comes up in a 4-1 game. I mean, nothing overly impressive, but you look up here and it's the 5th inning and they've got just 1 run on 3 hits. Machado rips it to third, stopped by Seager, 2 gone. He's been robbed of hits twice tonight.
Well, that also helps when you were talking about Ramirez. Maybe it looked like there's nothing impressive, but the defense definitely picks you up. Machado was robbed the bat before with the bases loaded from Maben, and now gets robbed again from Seager at third. Once again, after twice it happens in a game, you constantly tell yourself, stay right there. Stay right there. Don't change a thing. They'll fall.
2 gone. Cody Bellinger has reached both times, single and a walk.
I'll tell you, Ramirez on the hill right now. See how effective he's been against the Dodgers, just giving up 1 run and just 3 hits. When we talked about coming in, he's one of those that will pitch to contact, good sinker, not overpowering, and relies on command. He's been showing that command. He's gotten some help from his defense, but for the Mariners side, this is what they're used to seeing from him. From an offensive side, and the other side, the Dodgers are going, how is this happening? Like, these are like frustrating at bats. Sometimes you can deal with a guy that just has their stuff, and sometimes this guy you feel you should hit, you're not. It's frustrating.
His 3rd K tonight, halfway home in a 4-1 game.
immobile. It's really been about the defense in this game. May have been out in left field, robbing Machado. And then Justin Turner getting in the act, making a fine play over there at third base with Muncie picking him up. And then Seager saying, I can do it at third as well.
Guillermo Heredia leads off this 5th inning for the Mariners. Fouled off the first pitch from Rich Hill. All 5 runs in this game coming in the first. Dodgers got 1 on a 2-out single from Cody Bellinger. Mariners got an RBI hit from Nelson Cruz and then a 3-run homer from Kyle Seager. They start the day at 70-53. Had that 4-game sweep in Houston last weekend to pull them right back into the postseason picture. That's driven to right center. Sends Puig on the move. He's got a beat on it. 1 out. But they followed that 4-game winning streak by losing 3 of 4. And they're watching Oakland continue to win. Oakland winning the first 2 games against Houston this weekend. It's now 40-13 since mid-June. And the A's and Astros are tied for first in the West. Mariners sitting 4 back.
Look for those big runs, right, to make an impact, and that's exactly what Oakland is doing.
Here's Mitch Haniger. Slashes one towards the right field corner. That's slicing foul. The A's 2 months ago were 12 games back. Team that's had 3 consecutive last place finishes. Finds itself alone in first, or not alone in first, but in first after the month of April for the first time since 2015. Houston, meanwhile, has gone 7-13 in its last 20.
Well, Seattle jumped back in the race here, or really made a push, because when they swept Houston as well, that was big for them, and they got Houston coming in after the Dodgers.
The guy at the plate right now, Mitch Haniger, started hitting leadoff in that Houston series for the first time all year. And you talk about setting a tone not just for a game but for a series. Homered against Justin Verlander on the first pitch. Ahead of Hill, 3-1.
Didn't they hit for the cycle
in the first four hitters?
First 4 hitters with a home run, triple, double, single.
And then Verlander got thrown out of the game arguing after the 2nd inning. It flustered him so. Puig full head of steam. Oh, almost caught it and so badly wanted to. Spikes that glove down in frustration.
I mean, this was an incredible effort by Yasiel, and we know how frustrated he gets and upset, especially when it goes off his glove like that, and believing he should have had that. If he makes that, that would have been just another highlight play, highlight reel type play. Great effort.
Well, they're going to go to the monitor here and see if there's any kind of fan interference. For it to be fan interference, the fan has to reach into the field of play, so break that invisible barrier straight up from the padding. It would be hard to rule that this should have been caught.
That's pretty close. I don't know if the fan really impeded with that anyway. Does he get a little bit of his arm right here when he goes for that? It looked like it almost got his arm after Yasiel had the ball. But they're going to check. You know, it's worth the check. Why wouldn't you check just to see? And I'll tell you, what an effort. I mean, what a great effort by Yasiel. He just came up short.
And again, Puig reaching into the crowd, not vice versa. That's why that's such a quick review.
And now Yasiel, he's not mad at the fan there. That's not throwing the glove and mad because the fan was trying to catch the ball. He's just mad at himself because it went off of his glove and he didn't come up with it.
So now 3-2. And Haniger has reached all 3 times tonight on 3 walks against Hill. Here's Maben. Good stop by Grandal on ball 1. One and one. One and two. Back-to-back curves. This one misses, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Arizona has tied the game in San Diego, 6-6 in the 9th inning. Got him swinging with a fastball, 2 out.
Good job by Rich Hill. He throws that breaking ball down and he gets a swing and a miss. And then he just challenges him, comes right after him with that fastball. As a hitter, you know, a guy who likes to throw that curveball. He got you to swing and miss with it. So you have that in the back of your mind. It makes that fastball seem a lot faster than what the radar might be saying.
Haniger at first, and with 2 out, Cano, who's 1 for 2 today. I've seen Hill drop down against him a bunch. 1-0. Pop fly right side of the infield. After the 4-run first inning, 4 straight innings for Hill without a hit allowed. So he's given the Dodgers a chance. 4-1 to the 6th. company. The Dodgers only 3 hits against Erasmo Ramirez. Got a run in the first inning, nothing since. The night is finished for Ramirez. Turns it over to this bullpen and Nick Vincent, who's on for the 45th time.
Well, for the Dodgers, when you had your troubles finding hits against Ramirez, who was effective, even though you might have had some line drives, you've seen some good plays, sometimes it's nice to go, all right, you got a new guy in there, hopefully change it up a little bit, change your luck a little. Now you're looking to have a good approach, good at bats, and see if you can get back in this ball game on the offensive side.
5, 6, and 7 coming up here. Brian Dozier to lead things off. Vincent's first pitch of the night is a strike. And as this game rolls on to the 6th inning, conversation again becomes the boom or bust nature of this offense, which scores 11 runs last night, hitting 5 homers, but silence through 5 innings tonight. 1-1. It's Pedro Baez getting ready. Rich Hill's pitch count on the low 90s. Bouncing ball to first and an easy play for Ryan Healy. Grandal happy to have Ramirez out. Struck out both times against him. Now the Dodgers 20-0 and they hit 3 home runs in a game. But what happens on the night when the ball's not flying out for them? One and 0.
Well, on those nights you definitely have to find ways to do little things, situational hitting, find ways to get on base, pass the baton.
One and 2. Zach Duke. This is not a team you want to wait to do the job against. They are 59-0 this season, 60-0 this season when leading after 8 innings. Edwin Diaz been the top closer in baseball this year. He waits in the 9th. Alex Colomé has fired 20 consecutive scoreless innings. He waits for the 8th. So best bet is to get the job done against the Bridge from the starter, who only went 5 innings. To Colomé and Diaz. The 1-2.
Grandal has gotten some pitches in this at bat to drive, just fouling him off.
Pops this one into short left field. Cameron Maben for out number 2. Up comes Kemp. Matt said on that home run last night, as he's been dealing with all the bad luck, seems like recently, he wasn't sure if Cameron Maben maybe caught it. Good buddy of his from their days together in San Diego, but Maben leaps at the wall, and then the way he came down kind of looked like that he caught it. Kemp said to himself, oh, no way. You got to be kidding me. if he caught that ball, it's been a good career, but I'm out. I'm done. I'm going right out the center field gate.
I thought he would say, I'm no longer friends with Maben. That'd have been better.
Probably that too. Done with baseball and done with you, Cameron. But it was a relief when he saw that he didn't come down with the ball. And Kemp had his first home run in 20 games.
Well, he wasn't the only one who thought. We also saw Cody Bellinger. He was on base, and he stopped. He stopped at second and was just kind of froze and wasn't sure if he came down with it either.
1-2.
Now we're going to have a look at that home run that we were talking about to center field. He drives it. Maben goes back. This is a great effort. I mean, it was close. And see the look just to make sure. He's like, I'm still going to keep jogging and act as if I knew it was out, but you're not sure.
You kind of see the look in his eyes there now, knowing what was inside his mind.
I'll play it off like I know it's gone.
And then he said, yeah, it didn't help having Bellinger freeze the way he did by second. What do you know that I don't, man? Matt tonight 1 for 2 and waits on this 1-2. Yanked to left. Maben takes this one away from him. Dodgers down in order in the 6th. 4-1. Power the drive. Rich Hill gave up the 4th spot in the 1st. Nothing since then. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Joe, Nomar, and Alana here in Seattle after the Dodgers won 11-1 last night, trying to clinch their first series win in August. They do it and come from behind fashion tonight. Pedro Baez has been warming for a bit, but they'll send Rich Hill out there for the heart of the order. Nelson Cruz takes strike 1. Quickly 0-2. Well, in the interest of sharing some good news, San Diego walks off Arizona. Christian Villanueva with a pinch hit game-winning single. And so the Rockies are now within a half game of first. Dodgers a game and a half back. Hill to Cruz with a 1-2, and he buzzed him inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another 2-2. Curveball, and he was guessing at something else. Got him on the outside corner. One away in the 6th. Time for the Coors Light refreshing finish. Biggest swing of this game belongs to Kyle Seager. 3-run home run off Hill in the 1st.
Fastball wanted away, gets over the middle of the plate. Seager doesn't miss it. Effective against lefties as far as the long ball is concerned. He got another one. But since then, Rich Hill's done a good job settling in and trying to help his team get back into this one.
He's given up just 1 hit since. And against Seager, since giving up that home run, he's thrown 6 pitches, all of them balls. Three and 0.
I'll tell you what, that outside corner just barely off of the plate. Marvin Hudson has been, we look at pitch cast where it says just off. He's been consistent not calling that ball just off the plate.
There's a strike. On the 100th pitch tonight for Rich. Same thing, huh?
And those are good pitches, and Rich Hill, you keep asking, see him asking, where are those? I mean, they're really good pitchers' pitches. I mean, look at that one, and on that one on pitch, guys, it looked like it catches a corner, so he has an argument. Like, where are those?
One on, one out. Here's Ryan Healy. Season high 5 walks issued by Rich Hill. Strike one. Ryan Healy, who's 0 for 2. Nothing in 2. One and 2.
Nice stop by Grandal. Job keeping him over there at first base. And Rich Hill really looking to try to put away Healy here. Great effort by Grandal. That's what he's, especially after that frustration after walking Seager.
The 1-2. It's ball 2. Season high in pitches is 110. This is only the second time that he's crossed 100. Seager a good lead at first as a 2-2 flies home, and he gets Healy swinging. 2 gone.
Good job by Rich Hill getting that strikeout, like we mentioned, after that frustration on the base on balls to Seager before, and also frustration with the call not getting it from home plate umpire. Then you get that swing and a miss, you get that strikeout, and now you're battling with yourself internally, like, I can't give in there. There's still another one I have to go. I have to keep that same intensity. Can't let up here, make a mistake.
Against Mike Zunino, who's done nothing but strike out so far in this series. He's had here 1-0. Strike one. One and two. It's been mostly fastballs that they've been able to get by Zunino, who has been the worst high fastball hitter in baseball this year. In fact, he's 1 for 57 against elevated fastballs. Seager off for first with 2 gone, and on a 1-2 he goes back to the high fastball again and gets the same result. He's through 6. He's given his team a chance. Can the offense wake up down 4-1?
At 7:10, when the Dodgers open a 3-game series with the St. Louis Cardinals, the first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive a Dodger-branded knit cap, compliments of United Healthcare. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Looks like Rich Hill's night is finished. Season high 111 pitches. Gives up 4 runs in the first inning, but nothing after that.
Only that first inning had some base on balls. They were able to capitalize on some mistakes. Hit a long ball, big 3-run home run. But to come back and give your team a chance to try to fight their way back into this game, that's what Rich Hill has done. And now they're going to have to try to fight against Zach Duke on the hill. See that opponent average of 297, but a little bit better against lefties at a 257 clip so far this year, with the Dodgers having a pair of lefties coming up in their first 3 batters.
Muncie, Puig, Peterson. Duke's first pitch of the night is a strike. Came over to the Mariners from the Twins at the trade deadline and has given up 6 runs in 3 1/3 so far. Well traveled. Weak fly ball to center field. Heredia for the first out. Duke is in his 14th year. He's with his 9th different team. Most notably with the Pittsburgh Pirates, first 5 years of his career, but since then he's not been anywhere more than a full year. 1 away in the 7th. Yasiel Puig, who is 1 for 2 tonight. Shoots that first one foul. Dodgers without a hit since the 2nd tonight. Only 3 total. Puig shoots one to right center field. Heredia runs it down.
Talking about the Dodgers just having 3 hits. One thing, they've only had 3 strikeouts so far in this game. The pitchers on the other side have been pitching to contact. They've been getting good defense like we just saw right there. Dodgers have been able to square some up. They're just not able to find some holes. And everyone who's come in, you got Ramirez who started, then you got Vincent, and now Duke. It's about pitching to contact and letting your defense do their job.
Jock Peterson with 2 out takes ball 1. The issue is now 10 in a row retired, and what's looming after this, Colomé in the 8th, 20 consecutive scoreless innings, and Edwin Diaz in the 9th, 47 saves this year. Routine bouncing ball for Robinson Cano, and an uneventful 7th for Zach Duke. We stretch in Seattle in a 4-1 game. To by Carl's Jr. and by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop choosenissan.com. No hits in this game for the Mariners since the second inning, but they lead at 4-1 as Pedro Baez replaces Rich Hill. Joe Davis, Nomar Garciaparra, and Alana Rizzo here in Game 2 in Seattle.
You look at Pedro Baez's record, 4-3, and he collected that fourth win on Wednesday against those Giants when the Dodgers were able to get that walk-off victory where he pitched 2 perfect scoreless innings in relief.
So trying to build off that outing. Starting this outing against his old minor league infield mate. Left side of the infield coming up was D. Gordon at short and Pedro Baez at third. The Dodger minor league system. Both guys have moved positions. Gordon's a little bit less drastic. Baez converting to the mound. Here's Pedro's 1-0. There's ball 2. Change up, 2-1. D. Gordon came to the Mariners this winter in exchange for a few minor leaguers over from Miami. Guy that didn't play baseball until he was a junior in high school. D's first love was basketball. Thought baseball looked boring even though his dad was playing it. Didn't think it was that exciting, and he said all the cute girls went to the basketball games, so that's what he wanted to do. He actually had an offer to play basketball at Louisville, but got real about how big he was. Thought how many 5'11" guys you find in the NBA. Not a ton. Flips this one foul, still 2-2. So he goes the junior college route, 1 season there, and plays NAIA ball. Dodgers draft him, the 4th round in 2008. A breakout season early on in his time with the Dodgers, although before that there was serious thought of quitting baseball and going back to basketball, chasing that collegiately. Climbs the ladder for this one, bounces it to Dozier, who knows he's got to be quick with Gordon's speed. 1 gone.
I think in hindsight he's thinking I made the right choice.
Yeah.
Tell you, him coming up as a shortstop for the Dodgers, and then just watching him evolve when he went to second base. It was like, this is where I belong. Just it seemed like he looked more relaxed at second base. The comfort level, even though it is different than short, different angle. Became an all-star at second base.
1-0 on Guillermo Heredia. And then last year, or this year, he was acquired by the Mariners to play center field. Said Robinson Cano at second, but with Cano's suspension, Gordon moved back to second. They're going to spend the bulk of his time there moving forward. If they make the postseason, he'll be the starter there. Ball on a strike. Tells you what kind of athlete he is, though. If you're going to trade 3 minor leaguers and put him at a position he's never played, it's just trusting how pure of an athlete D. Gordon is. .97 for strike 2. There's Alex Colomé. Two up, 2 down for Baez, getting a strikeout with a changeup.
Fans, be at Dodger Stadium on August 25th when the Dodgers host the Padres at 6:10 p.m. Be one of the 40,000 fans in attendance to take home a Dave Roberts replica batting practice jersey. Compliments of Southern California BMW Centers. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
It's a pretty cool giveaway.
The replica batting practice jersey.
2 gone for Mitch Haniger.
When they're going to get to the point where they're going to do the nickname replica
Players Weekend
yeah.
jerseys, yeah. You got one, right? Last year.
Last year.
No Ma
Yeah.
with a few H's.
Yeah. Just one.
Just one.
Just one.
Haniger bounces to Turner. Pedro Baez now. 3 consecutive perfect innings of relief back to his last outing. On to the 8th in Seattle.
All right, thanks, Joe. It's the ups and downs of baseball last night. 5 home runs for the Dodgers tonight, 3 singles and nothing else, Ned.
It's not insurmountable, but they better get something in the 8th inning with Diaz in the 9th.
All right, Ned, Jay here will break it down after the game. Alana has a reaction from the clubhouse.
All right, guys, as Alex Colomé comes on to pitch the 8th, and Ned mentioned you better get something in the 8th because Diaz looms in the 9th, but 20 consecutive scoreless innings for this man.
Yeah, you look over those 19-game span of those 20 innings. He's 1-0 with 13 holes. Got 19 strikeouts, just 6 walks, and opponents are hitting under 200 against him.
2, 3, and 4 for the Dodgers coming up. Turner, Machado, and Bellinger. Now, the Mariners didn't do anything right at the trade deadline, but they pulled the trigger on what has proven to be a big deal for them in May, getting Colomé and Span from Tampa Bay. And both those guys have been huge pieces. 29-year-old from the Dominican Republic to face Turner, perhaps his last chance to extend his hitting streak. Ball 1. Justin tonight is 0 for 2, and as John mentioned, the Dodgers just 3 singles as a team, one night after banging the 5 home runs. That's a strike, 1-1. Strike 2. And they got the flag out. It's on 2-9-4. Has the flag grown? That thing is huge.
With all the fans, are going to need a bigger one. That's not covering the 1300, that's for sure.
Turner stays alive. It's about the most they've had to cheer about tonight, though, is getting that flag through security and getting it.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Isn't it good?
It is great.
Stalemate to Turner with another 1-2. Takes it in the dirt, ball 2. It has been really cool seeing the Dodger fans all around Seattle. And I've heard from multiple Dodger fans who talk about how welcoming the Mariner fans have been. What a good experience Seattle has made this for them. That was before they pulled out the flag, though. 2-2. Turner turns on it. Fly ball to left towards the wall and gone. All they needed to do was show him the flag. And Justin Turner pumps a home run to left.
Justin Turner feeling the love from the fans, the excitement, the cheers. He continues his streak, his hitting streak, with a ball up and in. And then he breaks Stalamete's streak of 20 scoreless innings.
8th for Turner. And so Stalamete's human. Here's Machado. Strike 1. Boy, is this game 124 of the regular season, or is this game 4 of a postseason series? The way it sounds and feels in here right now. Chopper foul.
You know, that hit, it was interesting. His catcher Zunino didn't see it off Justin Turner's bat. I was like, you're right there, you can hear it. What's Zunino here? He looked like he didn't know where it is. He's like, where is that? Is that a fly ball? I'm like, nope, that's out of here.
Machado with a bullet towards the pole, but it hooks foul.
Battle of the necklaces.
Which bling wins? Oh, 2 again. Pop up, foul ground. He's hoping that it reaches the seats, and it does.
It does. But he's hoping that it reaches the seats. But that was also a pitch. You know, he's been putting some really good swings on it, but that was a pitch in the inner half. And he could have gone possibly back to back with that one. He just missed it. Watch where this one goes. Watch that swing. That's the one where he just, oof. Those are the ones you want to have back as a hitter.
Another 0-2. Got him. And like you often talk about, it wasn't that one. It was the one before that ultimately spells his doom 1 away.
This one he knew was coming in, and it was tailing in. He just couldn't hold up. It was off the plate. He was already committed.
And so 1 away, and Cody Bellinger's the hitter. Daniel Hudson ready to make his return from the DL. Bellinger hits a high drive. Forget about this one. How far will it go? Oh my goodness. And it's a one-run game.
That should have counted for 2. As far as he hit this one, my God, that wasn't second. That was the 3rd level in the stadium in right field. By the way, that's projected distance. I projected it farther.
Dozier, strike 1. Either way, on a pair of home runs, the Dodgers have cut it to 4-3 against Alex Colomé, who hadn't given up a run in a long time. Ball and a strike on Dozier. And as it's so often been, it's the home run. Hit 5 of them last night, keying the 11-run outburst. Didn't have any before the 8th tonight. Ball and 2 strikes on Dozier. They didn't have any before the 8th, and they didn't have any offense before the 8th, with the exception of that 1 run in the 1st inning. But as the ball flies out of the yard, so does the comfort for the Mariners. Turner and Bellinger both hitting solo shots. 4-3 our score. Dozier takes it low. 2-2.
Just telling him, oh, I got it off the end of my bat.
Just muscled it out there.
All of that.
Dozier 0 for 2 tonight. He had a couple of balls in game 1 last night just to the wrong part of the ballpark, to the right of center field. He's not a guy that goes the other way too often. This is not the right park to do that in. See if he can hit it similarly hard, but pick a different spot. Tie this game. Alexander's joined Hudson. Another 2-2. That's a foul ball. Another 2-2. Got him looking.
Look at this pitch. When we look on pitch cast, maybe just catches the corner. Dozier, it's also a late call. He thinks it's off the plate, thinking he did an excellent job, and you know how important that is this time of the game. Your guys just scored 2 runs, trying to get that final tying run, just trying to figure out a way to get on base. It's frustrating when you just it's that close and you don't get the call your way.
Grandal watches a breaking ball fall in for strike 1. 2 homers, 2 strikeouts in this Alex Colomé inning. He had given up just 3 home runs all year. On a 1-1 pitch, Grandal swings and misses as he back foots him with a slider 1-2. There's some life over in that Dodger dugout. And you can't help but think, all this blue in here has jolted them some. They unfurled the flag. Turner on the next pitch goes yard. 2 batters later, Bellinger does the same. And in a 1-run game, it's Grandal waiting on another 1-2. That's ball 2.
Pantone 294 is going. Shouldn't have waited for the 8th.
Should have brought the flag out earlier.
Needed that more like 4th, 5th. But they had to put it together, so
that's right.
Not their fault. Not blaming them one bit.
It's got to be at least 5-inning job. Put that flag together.
Oh, I love seeing it.
On a 2-2. Grandal stays alive just barely. What an environment in here. Both sides. He's worked it full. Colomés 3-2. Yasmani Grandal strikes out and ends the inning. But new life for the Dodgers. Pantone 294 making its presence known. Turner hits his 8th of the season. Bellinger hits his 20th, and if not for the facing to the 3rd deck, it might still be flying. Between these teams tomorrow, Clayton Kershaw takes the ball for the Dodgers, and then the Cardinals come into town, having now won 10 of their last 11 games after beating Milwaukee earlier tonight. They're now in 2nd place in the Central. Scott Alexander on to pitch the bottom of the 8th, trying to keep the Dodgers within 1.
And we also saw Daniel Hudson in the bullpen warming up prior to that inning started, and then you got a couple of home runs making this a 1-run game. Dave Roberts electing to go to Scott Alexander, who last pitched was back on Wednesday versus the Giants, where he too had a scoreless inning.
2, 3, and 4 for Seattle. It's Cameron Maben. Maybe his last chance to extend his 10-game hitting streak. He starts this AB with ball 1. There's Edwin Diaz, who has 47 saves this year. and is on pace to threaten the all-time record for a single season held by K-Rod, 62 a decade ago. One ball, one strike. He is 47 of 50 in save opportunities, and the 3 that he's blown, the Mariners have found a way to win those games anyways. One and two.
Good job right now is Scott Alexander. Keep this within 1 so the Dodgers can possibly make it 4 for Diaz.
I mentioned it earlier, but Seattle, when leading after 8, as they will be here, 60-0 this year. Mariners have started a promotional push for Edwin Diaz for Cy Young. Something many people figure Chris Sale is going to win, although Sale just placed on the DL for the 2nd time. Some tenderness in his shoulder. No question the Mariners wouldn't be where they are as part of this division picture if it wasn't for Diaz. Two. Hard hit, but Machado's there. And Maben is the first out. Here's Cano. Strike one. Ground ball to Muncie. 2 up and 2 down in the 8th. It's 5 up, 5 down for the bullpen, with Baez pitching a perfect 7. Mariners without a hit since the 2nd inning tonight. Got all 4 runs against Rich Hill in the 1st. Got a 1-out single from Heredia in the 2nd. No hits since. Nelson Cruz. Ball one. Strike one. Through the slider, and Cruz took it. 2 balls, 1 strike.
A really good pitch by Alexander. I was hoping that he'd swing at it. That's a really tough one to barrel up. Sets him up then for that sinker of his.
Big bounce to Turner at 3rd. Scott Alexander's got a 1-2-3-8. To the 9th we go. The tallest of challenges. Edwin Diaz and his 47 saves against Kemp, Muncie, and Puig. 1 for the tie and 2 for the lead in Seattle. Diaz out of Puerto Rico has 47 saves. That's 11 more than anybody else in baseball. And that comes in 50 tries. And the MVP for this Mariners team this year.
Well, what makes him effective? Well, it's the fastball that can hit the triple digits and a wipeout slider that he averaged 90 miles an hour on that wipeout slider. Think about, he's faced 226 batters. He has struck out over 100 of them. So his average is 45% of the batters he's faced, he has struck out.
There's that record we're talking about. The Mariners, one of 2 teams in baseball unbeaten when leading after 8. The other, one of the teams are chasing, in the Oakland A's. Dodgers have rolled the long ball back into this game, and they got a few guys that can hit them coming up. Kemp, Muncie, and Puig. Fastball to 97, strike 1. Kemp checks his swing. That's 91, but that's his slider.
That's a slider, and you can see the type of break that it has. You know, he's one of those guys that, I know the book says, you know, you want to take a strike on him, especially as the closer coming, especially when you're down by 1, trying to find a way to get on base. But usually the best pitch to hit up him is that first pitch because of that slider right there. He's one guy, one closer that you say, listen, just be ready that very first pitch. If you want to go ahead and go for it, not to say hit a home run, but to try to attack it, attack it.
Fly ball to left center, but routine for either Maben or Heredia. It's Heredia for the first out of the 9th. Team leader in home runs, Max Muncie. Tonight, Max 0 for 2 with a walk. It is 27th in the opener last night. He did go after the first pitch and hit it foul. Muncie took a slider, and it's 1-1. Turner and Bellinger homering in the 8th inning. Prior to that, all 5 runs in this game had come in the first. Rising fastball for strike 2.
Comes right out and paints the corner, inside corner, gets that call. And look for that put away slider that he loves to throw so much.
Ball 2. Ball 3.
Good take by Max Muncie.
Yasiel Puig on deck. Muncie has worked it full against Edwin Diaz. The 3-2. High fly ball to right field. He has done the unthinkable. Tying the game with a home run against Diaz. And now takes ball one. One ball, one strike. We couldn't lay off. It's 1-2.
Max Muncie, we've seen the way he took the other two pitches, and when he gets that one, he knew it. There was no doubt about that one, just like Cody Bellinger's earlier.
Puig down on strikes, 2 out. 3 solo home runs against the duo of Stalemate and Diaz.
During that at bat by Max Muncie, I'm talking about once he got 2 strikes, I was like, oh, here comes that slider. There was a high fastball. It looked like he saw it easily. He wasn't even like out in front or checking. Even on the slider down and in, he looked like he noticed it and saw it right out of his hand, and then he gets the fastball and doesn't miss it.
And now Jock Peterson in a 4-4 game in the 9th inning. Fouls off the first pitch, but a few of the guys have done what you were hoping that they would do, and that is attack the first pitch.
No, Yasiel looked like he was ready to attack it, and it was a ball. That was the pitch to go after. We saw Muncie do that, and he fouled it off. That's what you have to be ready. Good swing by Jock.
Kenta Maeda and JT Chagua. Because there will be a bottom of the 9th against all odds. Grounded foul, 1-2. Punched for punch in the division race when you see the Rockies erase a 3-run deficit in the 9th inning tonight. Dodgers erase a 3-run deficit over the final 2 innings. Rockies were able to win it in extras. Diamondbacks fell in the 9th. This game goes to the bottom of the 9th. But the fact that there's a bottom of the 9th tonight is thanks to Max Muncie. Homers against Edwin Diaz, and boy did he know it or what. Home runs from the Dodgers over the final 2 innings of this game. Turner, Bellinger, and Muncie. And it's Scott Alexander who worked the 1-2-3-8 to come out to start the 9th. Only the 4th blown save in 51 tries this year for Edwin Diaz. Consoled by Cano as Seager stands in to lead us 9th inning off for Seattle. Flies the first pitch to left. Machado sprints over. Not quite enough room. There's a chance this is just a one-batter thing for Scott Alexander with the 2 right-handed pitchers down there. Even though Seager is a reverse splits guy. He goes lefty, righty, righty here. Check swing foul, and it's 0-2. Seager has the biggest swing of the night for the Mariners. Way back in the 1st inning, a 3-run home run against a left-handed Rich Hill.
And we were talking about it that since 2012, Kyle Seager has the most home runs in baseball. That was his 59th. A left-hander batter versus a left-handed pitcher. Seems like a while ago, doesn't it?
Sure does. Mariners only have 1 hit since then. That was in the 2nd. Fly to left. Peterson. 1 out. And Dave Roberts is going to go to the righties in the pen with the right-handed Healy and the right-handed Zunino coming up. Scott Alexander retires all 4 that he faces, and here comes JT Chagua.
The last time he's come in to pitch, he too pitched on that game on Wednesday against the Giants. And they had the walk-off victory in the 12th. Looking to help the Dodgers try to do it again, and that's win in extra innings.
Brian Healy comes up 0 for 3 tonight, homered in last night's game. And he is a reverse splits guy as well. Little bit deceiving as far as the cumulative numbers there, just because he faces plenty more righties than he does lefties, but hitting for a higher average against right-handed pitching. Well, if Chagua can get this thing into extras, the Dodgers have to like their chances. You're through Colomé and Diaz, and Turner, Machado, and Bellinger are due up in the 10th. Chagua's 1-0. Healy takes a strike. Backed up on him, but it was pulled wide of the bag, and it's 1-2. Executed this pitch. Nobody home on the right side. Dozier's throw is not in time. And an infield single for Ryan Healy.
Off the end of the bat, a broken bat. Look how far Dozier ranges over to his left and still almost comes up with a beautiful play.
They will pinch hit for Mike Zunino. It's Denard Span coming to the plate. First hit, by the way, for Seattle since the 2nd inning. Span came over in the same deal that brought Alex Colomé at the end of May from Tampa Bay, and he's putting together the best offensive season of his career. Here's a 34-year-old. Winning run at first. Chagua checks on him. It's Romine pinch running.
They talked earlier. No, they were all there when he came in the game, but this, after you pick him off a couple of times, you can see exactly why. Now you got Dave Roberts coming out there.
So Chagua faces just Healy. And it'll be Caleb Ferguson to come on for Denard Span. Tied at 4 in the 9th inning. on for Denard Span.
Caleb Ferguson, since putting on that Dodger uniform, started as a starter, then went to the bullpen and has been much more effective coming out of the bullpen. See the opponent's batting average against just around 200.
Trying to bounce back from allowing that game-tying home run to Andrew McCutcheon on Wednesday night. Dodgers are able to overcome that, win it in extras, hoping for a similar result tonight, having tied the game with 3 home runs over the last 2 innings. Well, it seems like Span's been up there for a long time, but he's still yet to see a pitch. He was announced, stepped into the box. JT Chagua picked over to first twice, and without throwing a pitch, was removed. Ferguson's first one is grounded up the middle. Machado's got it. Wide throw, everybody's safe.
Machado does a good job ranging to his left, getting to this ball, even throwing his body just to get to it. And then it was tough getting out of his glove, and as his body was kind of twisted, he was unable to get an accurate throw behind him to second base. It's every effort that he can. And it's the same mentality right now. It's knock it down on the infield, sacrifice that body.
First and second, 1 out. Ruled an infield single for Denard Span, and it's the former Dodger D. Gordon. Ball 1. Mentioned it before Edwin Diaz pitched that he was 47 for 50 in save opportunities, and we also mentioned that the 3 that he had blown, Seattle still found a way to win those games. That's a strike, 1-1.
You said that Seattle was 60-0 when leading after 8 innings. Dodgers desperately trying to break that trend.
Romine at second, pinch running for Healy. He's got good speed. The 1-1. Gordon fouls it off, strike 2. The 1-2. Fly to center field. No big deal for Bellinger. Out number 2. Two on, 2 out, and it's the 9-hitter Heredia. Again, you just feel like if the Dodgers can get this thing into extras, it shifts in their advantage big time with Diaz out of the picture and with Turner, Machado, and Bellinger coming up. Romine at second, 2 out, 9th inning. Here's Ferguson's pitch. Starts him with a breaking ball, strike 1. A little bit low.
That was a great pitch by Caleb Ferguson. Doesn't get the call. 96 down in the zone. Look at pitch catch. Just how close was it? I mean, it was That was one of those that were borderline that you wouldn't be surprised if he called that a strike. I mean, when we see that on a side angle, it looked like it hit the hollow of the knee there.
So now 1-1 pitch. Heredia takes ball 2. The All-Star Mitch Haniger is due next. Here comes a 2-1. Strike 2.
I'll tell you, that was a big pitch right there in this at bat, especially after throwing that good fastball down in the zone and not getting the call. That would have changed the whole complexion of this at bat. Now going behind 2-1 and having to throw a breaking ball, and a big breaking ball in that situation. Can't give up right here. That was huge.
2 on, 2 out. A 2-2 pitch from Caleb Ferguson is jammed foul and will do it again. What a game. What a final couple months this is going to be.
And why that pitch before was such a big pitch. Yeah, you just threw a fastball right after that, but it puts in the hitter's mind, he's not afraid to throw a curveball in a big pitch situation.
Another 2-2. Bouncing ball up the middle for Dozier, who will step on the bag and send this game to the 10th. Tied at 4 with the teeth of the lineup coming up. Justin Turner, who has homered tonight. Manny Machado homered twice last night. And then Cody Bellinger, who's got a long ball in this one. New catcher is Chris Herman, and he will receive a new pitcher, Adam Warren, for the 10th inning.
See this season, pitch time in New York, just acquired over here to Seattle. Made it. First debuts for Seattle back in August 1st versus Houston.
Well, the Mariners, the best in baseball in tight games. And that's reflected in their extra innings record. 11-1 in extra innings games this season. Dodgers winning their most recent one Wednesday night. What a huge win this would be if they could find a way. Trailed this game 4-1 going into the 8th inning against Colomé and the 9th inning against Diaz. Those two guys had given up a total of 6 home runs all season. The Dodgers got 2 against Colomé and 1 against Diaz to send us to the 10th. And now it's Warren against Turner. Ball 1. Turner's home run extended his hitting streak to a National League best 12 games. That's a strike, 1-1, and here is that homer.
Talking about him extending the streak versus Colomé, who had a 20-inning scoreless streak until that swing by Justin Turner.
And here on a 1-1 pitch, Turner takes strike 2. They talk about the game shifting in the Dodgers' favor, getting it into extras with Diaz out of the picture. But of course, the elephant in the room is that Kenley Jansen is still out of the picture for the Dodgers. 2-2 on Turner. Can't wait for that follow-up appointment on Monday. He hopes to get cleared by the cardiologist. For now, if they get a run, it'll likely be Kenta Maeda. Otherwise, you figure Ferguson can give them more. Turner takes it outside, and he's worked it full to open the 10th. A payoff. Just misses, and Turner started the 10th with a walk.
Good take by Justin Turner on the outer half. Doing an excellent job during the course of that at bat to work that walk. Justin Turner, understanding leadoff batter of the inning, just trying to find a way to get on, not trying to take it. He already hit a home run, but was it going out there with a big swing, waiting for his pitch? Excellent job.
Nobody out. Tie game in the 10th, and Machado, who may be 0 for 4, but has continued to look good, takes ball 1. A couple of very hard hit balls, just with nice defensive plays. After he homered twice last night. That's a strike. Here comes Warren's 1-1. Machado watches it spin away, ball 2.
And as a hitter in Machado's shoes, after hitting the ball really well and swinging the bat as of late well, got to remind yourself in this situation that you can't be big. You got to stay on the ball. I'm thinking right center gap myself to keep me on that ball.
Pop to left center. Maben for the first out. And now it's Bellinger, who hit one out of here his last time up that was absolutely crushed.
Look, I mean, that fans looking on TV, it looked like it hurt that first one. So no, it was the second one, and that was just the ball coming down after the second facade up there actually stopped it from it going into some of the suites over there.
This is 20th this year, and second hit tonight. Top batting average in the National League here in August, and bringing the power back as well. First one from Warren, and Bellinger takes it outside, ball 1. Forget about hitting it 500 feet or whatever it was there. He's just looked calm and quiet in the box tonight. comfy. Back-to-back borderline takes puts him in the driver's seat at 2-0.
Now you can look inner half. You can look for your strength. Is when you really keyhole it. Say if I get it, that's when you can let it go.
Long time ago, Rich Hill gave up 4 runs in the first inning. Nothing since. Bellinger hits a high fly ball to center field, but playable for Heredia. Just missed it. 2 gone.
Well, he got on the hitter's count. Got the 2-0 pitch. Who was just tailing far enough away where he just missed it off the end. Got underneath it just a little bit.
So now Dozier. Trying 0 for 7 in this weekend series so far. He's got Turner at first with 2 out and takes ball 1. Got to Maeda. Be interesting to see if he comes on, whether or not they get a run or if they stick with Caleb Ferguson a little bit longer. Dozier pops it on the infield. Fading near the dugout. It is just out of play. Justin Turner started this inning with a walk, still at first, and Warren checks on him. Dodgers tied for the major league lead in stolen bases in August, although you don't figure that Turner will be the guy to pull the trigger on one here. Not wanting to take it out of Dozier's hands. Slider misses away. 2-1. Mariners have the top of the order coming up, bottom of the 10th. It's Haniger, Maben, and Cano. One of them reaches. Nelson Cruz. Turner does run. Here's the throw. Not in time. Stolen base for Justin Turner, adding to the Dodgers' major league leading total here in August. Wow.
Throughout the entire at bat, he was looking. He was trying to find that pitch. He was trying to read the pitcher to get that good jump.
Only his second of the season.
You know, with Machado and with Bellinger, you're not getting thrown out. You're going, listen, I'm going to wait, especially those guys who can hit it out of the ballpark. But during Dozier's at bat, he's going, listen, let me find that right pitch to get it. Great job.
So now with a base hit, Dodgers could take the lead. Dozier's got a 3-1 count. Warren deals. Dozier checks his swing and flies it down the right field line, foul. $43,000 tonight. Postseason environment for much of this game. Pantone 294 filling a lot of the seats. Plenty of other Dodger blue as well. And of course, they're very excited about their Mariners here in Seattle, trying to end the longest postseason drought in the sport. A 3-2. Dozier smacks it foul. We'll do it again. Another payoff. Dozier hits a fly ball to left center field, but it's playable for Heredia, and we go to the bottom of the 10th. Top of the order due up for Seattle, tied at 4.
Of the game as far as the Dodgers are concerned, continuing to be a question mark. Earlier today, Dave Roberts said that it was going to be a co-chairman of the closer committee. It was either going to be Kenta Maeda or Scott Alexander. Looks like Caleb Ferguson will get the remainder of this 10th inning. Kenley Jansen has already left Seattle to head back to Los Angeles as he gets ready for the cardiologist appointment tomorrow, guys. He's thrown 3 bullpen sessions this week, certainly not game situation type of bullpens, but he's ready to go, feels confident he'll be cleared. Of course, it's all up to the cardiologist on Monday.
Yeah, big day for the Dodgers and Kenley Jansen. Caleb Ferguson staying on for the bottom of the 10th. Top of the order for Seattle, American League All-Star Mitch Haniger swings at the first pitch and bangs a base hit to right.
Wanting that ball in, didn't get it in enough. Muscles it out there to right field.
And now Cameron Maben. Trying to extend his 10-game hitting streak. Here comes Ferguson. Maben shows bunt, takes a curveball for a strike. Cano and Cruz up after Maben. That's lefty righty, and again we've shown you Kenta Maeda is warm and ready to go. Would Dave Roberts match up with him, or is he saving him for a lead? Bunted foul, and it's 0-2. Of course, the only way you get a chance to take the lead is if you can get out of this 10th. So after trying to bunt in the first 2 pitches, now Maben swings away and it's foul. Haniger off for first. Ferguson home 0-2. Bouncing ball to second. There's one and not in time as Maben flies up that line, legging out a fielder's choice. He did every ounce of his speed to avoid that double play. 1 out.
Well, the Dodgers did what they were supposed to do. The ball might have been a little bit high as Dozier shuffled that ball to Machado, and he's a little upset, I'm sure, with himself, but still Machado with that great arm. And it was just a great hustle by Maben. It's amazing, just that little bit. Throwing it up as compared to in the chest can make the difference.
So 1-on-1 out. Here's Robinson Cano, who's 1 for 4 tonight. 4 for 16 since returning from the 80-game drug suspension. And for Caleb Ferguson, who would have thought in late August that you'd be standing on the mound in a tie game in the middle of a division race in the 10th inning facing Robinson Cano? Good lead for Maben, not running as Cano fouls back 94. Ferguson started the season in AA Tulsa at just 21 years old. Figured that he'd spend the bulk of the year there, maybe get a promotion to AAA at some point. Before you ever could have imagined, found himself in the majors, debuting in June. He's become a valuable piece of this bullpen. Is 0-1. Strike 2 on Cano. Bouncing ball past a diving Muncie. Dozier's able to get there. What a huge play by Brian Dozier with 1 out, keeping Cameron Maben the potential winning run from reaching third.
It was a great effort by Dozier, and it was also smart because he would have had a chance at Cano at first, but as you have the pitcher running, I mean, this is just a high-risk throw, high-risk play. Better off just holding it. Good job keeping the guy from going the extra 90 feet to third base.
Everything in this situation. Dave Roberts coming out with a right-handed batter. Nelson Cruz coming up. It'll be Kenta Maeda. With 2 on and 1 out in the bottom of the 10th inning, tied at 4.
Well, Dave Roberts knowing if my 8 is going to be a closer, he's going to wait for that close situation. And Dylan Floro came in, pitched yesterday's game, and ended up having a scoreless inning.
He'll face Nelson Cruz. Speedy Maben at second, the only man that matters. Cano's at first. Cruz tonight 1 for 4. Driven in his 78th run of the season, which has him again in the top 10 in the American League. Haniger singled to open the inning. Maben reached on a fielder's choice. And then Cano's infield single advanced him to second. Dodgers have Peterson in left, Bellinger in center, Puig in right. 3 good arms. As Cruz digs in and Floro gets ready. Ball 1. Outfield really shading Cruz the other way. Two and out. Nelson Cruz takes ball 3 with Kyle Seager due next. A 3-0 pitch. Chopped foul.
You knew you had to make a quality pitch, even 3-0. You know, a hitter like Cruz was not going to be taking, and you notice it was a breaking ball. 3-0.
So he goes 2 on 3-1 with a winning run in scoring position. Tied at 4 in the 10th. Cameron Maben. Dylan Floro to Nelson Cruz with a 3-1 pitch. That's ball 4 to load the bases. Last run for the Mariners came off Kyle Seager's home run, which was in the first inning against Rich Hill. Since then, he's walked twice. A walk would be good enough here for the Mariners. Infield comes in. Floro comes home, and Seager fouls it back, strike 1.
You got the infield in, you got the outfielders playing at a depth that they believe that they could sacrifice fly, get behind, and still throw Cameron Maben. It's not just your typical runner, it's Maben at third base.
Set for the 0-1. A balk. The game is over. Roberts saying he stepped off. And as the Mariners celebrate, Roberts comes out to argue it. And to no avail. The umpires shut it off. The Mariners win this game on a Dylan Floro balk with the bases loaded in the 10th.
Just an awful way to lose this game. I mean, it really is. I mean, the Dodgers fighting back for that to get back in this game. Granted, there were bases loaded as we have another look. Stepped off, but they're going to say there was a slight movement. Watch his front as he's going. See how he just hesitated. See the knee buckle, the back knee buckle before he stepped off. It was that slight movement is what they called the balk on, because there was slight hesitation. Just an awful way to lose the game.
After they battled back, hit those 3 home runs late, the rug's pulled out from beneath them, and they'll go for the series win tomorrow with Clayton Kershaw taking the ball.